What's up, y'all? It's your girl, J. Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. Greetings of the day. Right now on the phone, we got a brother by the name of Jamar Myers, okay? He wants to talk about his case. Now, there's some extenuating circumstances in his case. It's definitely not cut and dry. So we invite you to listen so you can find out more about him, about what's going on with him, and see how we can get a brother some help. All right. Hey, brother, I appreciate you for making it back again.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So give the people, we're going to jump right in, okay? Give the people, let the people know a little bit about yourself and where you from.
I'm from South Trenton. A little about myself. I'm a writer. I'm an author. Write urban novels, children's books, and I own my own publishing company. And I've been incarcerated for a crime that I didn't do, but innocence that I couldn't speak on due to certain threats that was made to my family.
Right. So we're going to dive a little deeper into that. So when did all of this start going on, bro? Give us a timeline.
Back in 2011, not too long after I fought a robbery case that was unrelated to the homicide I was falsely accused of.
Okay, and you've been incarcerated since 2011, or that's just when everything started going?
I've been incarcerated since 2011.
Okay. So tell us, what happened. You said that your family was threatened. That's definitely something very major. But tell us what led up to, what's going on with you.
Well, what led up to it, what truthfully, I don't know what led up to. I know that I was charged in an unrelated crime to the homicide, and from that day, I got accused of doing the homicide by one of my co-defendants within my robbery that was unrelated to the homicide. So ever since then, once I got indicted on it, I was just fighting the case, and in the course of that, like I said, I ended up receiving a letter threatening my family, and basically, if I didn't take the charge, basically shut the fuck up, that my family would be touched. So, with all the circumstances, I took heed to it, and I just fought my case how I needed to through motions and briefs.
Right.
But in the course of that time, the jail shit started affecting me, so I started trying to reach out to the public. And in the course of that, from me reaching out, I believe, on April 19th, 2022, at 3 in the morning, someone broke into my mother's house, ransacked the house, shot my mother in her head and in the chest, my brother in the neck, which made him partially paralyzed for a period of time. And he still suffers brain damage to the current.
Wow.
And allegedly, the papers and the police, they say allegedly, it was my co-defendant in my robbery case that was unrelated to the homicide.
Right.
Committed the crime. Well, that's what the papers.
All right, so let's dive a little deeper. So, okay, so you were involved in something that has nothing to do with the murder that happened, right? The homicide. And someone that was your co-defendant says, hey, he's the one that did this crime, and the crime is being the homicide.
One of my two co-defendants in that. Yeah, one of my two co-defendants in the robbery.
Okay. Is that something that he's still standing by, or what's the deal with that?
I'm not sure, because that man, even though, in that case, when I look at the discoveries, there's no evidence that points me that could put me at or near the scene of the crime. There's no evidence that could even apply I committed this crime. So he ended up, for whatever his testimony was, even though it was 4 statements inconsistent and contradict the statements that he gave up during the course of 2011 to 2014, he ended up getting a plea deal of 7 with a 12, and he's home right now. So I don't even, if I was to come back and go to trial, I don't even know what his standpoint would be of if he was still standing on his false story, or, but, I'm not even sure. I don't keep contact with that man,
All right, bro. I'm definitely sorry to hear, that you're going through. So how much time do they have you facing?
Well, I got 30 with a 12 in. I did 7 of that in the county jail, just fighting the case. Because, it took 7 years, because throughout those years, they would just postponing postponing court dates because they had no evidence and they still have no evidence.
Right.
All they have is 4 individuals, 3 of those being jailhouse witnesses,
right.
who got deals, and they all claim I confessed to them of doing the crime, although all their statements is inconsistent and contradicting to each other's and to the actual eyewitnesses and / victims of the crime.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
So what 11 in? I suppose let the courts tell it I have like 18 left.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you straight up so everybody can hear you say it. Did you commit this homicide?
No.
Okay, so explain to everybody some of the inconsistencies that in their evidence of how you couldn't have been on the scene. Like, what is your let us know what's going on.
In the beginning of the case, like I had a paid attorney. From that day, I had told him, "Look, I didn't commit the crime. That I was at Mercer County Community College, which I was going to school for entertainment technology at the time and date of the time." The star witness, who was my co-defendant, who claimed I committed the crime, he said that he called me, and a bunch of things happened at each time he called me, but through police testimony and the phone data records, it showed that he never called me, I never called him. But it also showed that at the time of the crime, he called supposedly whoever the actual suspect was, but that person ain't pick up. And the fact that the officer testified that I never called him, he never called me, but it is a fact that he did call somebody at the time the suspect was committing the crime. It wasn't me, so yeah, you did call somebody, but who was it? Because it wasn't me, because your phone records show that I didn't call you, you didn't call me.
Right.
It's four witnesses who all claim I confessed to them. All of them got deals, and one of the inconsistencies is the suspect had tried to rob the place for pharmaceutical drugs. And one of the witnesses said that after I committed the crime, I came back and told him, like, yeah, I got off some of the drugs, and he asked me for something. I wouldn't sell him to something. I wouldn't sell him to it, but the eyewitness / the employee of the store said the suspect got away with nothing. But this witness is saying I told him that yeah, I got away. Got the shit. I'm trying to move this shit. You get me? Yeah. It just said 60 seconds too.
All right, you gonna be able to call back?
I'm not gonna be able to call back right now because it's the next line phone, and I'm
okay. That's cool. This will be the part 1, the introduction. I just want to make it clear to everybody that, you know, he says he was at school.
30 seconds remaining.
He was at school when this happened. Did your lawyer ever pull the grounds camera footage to prove you were in school, or any proof that you were in school?
Nah, we're not. Me and my lawyer, I had to fire my paid attorney because we was having conflicts. He didn't feel as though he didn't want me to be on the stand because I wanted to get on the stand on my behalf. And he kept saying my record wasn't about nothing. You could have did a cross-examination, extinguished anything the state could have used for the bullshit charges I had as a juvenile.
All right, bro. I'm glad that we got you back so we can finish talking about the things that's going on with you. Thanks for working with us.
You're welcome.
All right, for sure. So,
thank you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So, you know, let's pick up right where we left off. We were talking about the inconsistencies in your case. So just run them from the top, so you know we can you know, make sure we hit everything.
Well, the inconsistency, like it was multiple inconsistencies where I basically had 4 witnesses who all claim I confessed to them, although all their statements is inconsistent and contradicting from each other. One witness who states the robbery, it was a felony murder, so that's a robbery that happens at the commission of a crime, but the suspect in this alleged case had got away with nothing, so one of the witnesses claimed I confessed to him and said I had got away with X, Y, and Z, but the eyewitnesses / victims of the case had stated like nothing was stolen. I have a star witness in my case, Gene Drew, who basically said, yeah, I'm putting niggas' names out there, who basically wrote 4 inconsistent statements, like, and none of his statements could be found as reliable, credible, or truthful. Another witness, Rashid Barlow, who also said, I confessed to him, but he said, one person took me to the crime, but the star witness in my case, who's also my co-defendant in the case, said that he supposedly, allegedly took me to the crime. But a whole nother witness said I confessed to him and said a whole nother person took me to do this crime and left me at the scene. And like, it's just, my case is like all over with inconsistencies, contradictions, lies, things from the evidence that show that things that these witnesses state are not true. So it's just like it's all over the place. There's no eyewitnesses who can put me at or near the scene of the crime. There's no physical evidence. Anything that they did find leads back to my co-defendant / the first person who initially accused me of doing this crime. Like, all the evidence points to him. There's no evidence that points to me.
Right. So did you
basically a man? I basically look. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
But it's basically where, like, I look at it like this: a person who may have or may not did the crime, who has did the crime, could easily take themselves out of the equation and put anybody in there.
Right.
If you know the facts of a crime that was done, whether it was you did or somebody close to you, and y'all did this as a whole, you can easily take that person out, maybe a friend or family, and put anybody else in the equation.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Did with those, facts of the evidence pointing back to him, there's no eyewitnesses, like, what did your lawyer even say anything? Like, none of them did he, what was his rebuttal? Like, what happened?
Man, like, at the end of the day, I had, between the case the other case that I had that was unrelated to my homicide, that was a case that they was holding over my head because they knew they didn't have any evidence or nothing that could put me at or near the scene of the crime with the homicide. So they was taking this other case and trying to hold it over my head, the robbery, which I just recently won in the Supreme Court, got it vacated, and the prosecutor dismissed the indictment. So I'm looking for a civil lawyer in that. But in the beginning, I've had several. I originally had a paid attorney who was supposedly a friend of the family, but he wasn't, because his whole objective was to get me a deal, and we had a conflict of what the strategy in trial should be. I wanted to take the stand on my behalf.
Right.
He didn't feel as though I wanted to. I had confessed to him. I told him, like, yo, I didn't do this on April 29th, 2011, the day of when this crime had taken place. I was at Mercer County Community College in the Learning Center studying for an upcoming exam.
Right.
So, and it was just like, well, his response was, well, do you have any proof of that? I'm like, yeah, my testimony. This is why I wanted to get on stand on my behalf. And, well, the prosecutor said that he has you who said you did it. All right, and all those people can be rebutted because nothing they say are reliable or credible or truthful.
Right. And he never reached out to the establishment to find out if they had cameras or anything?
No, he never did. Like, I confessed that shit to him damn near in tears. I've been doing all these years I've been in jail. Like, I've been through things mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Right.
And it was just like, what I said to him was irrelevant. So I had to get him removed off my case.
Understandable. So at no time did he ever look into what you were saying?
Nah, never.
It sounds like a lot of these lawyers, sometimes they be feeling like people are guilty. You know what I mean? And I don't even know what to say about that. I'm sorry, bro, that he wasn't an effective counsel. That's like really that's like basic 101. You know what I mean? To check that stuff. It's tripping me out that he didn't.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then after that, it was just like, I was stuck with dealing with a PD, and then I had 3 of them, and they all had to get off my case because of conflict of interest, because the public defender office didn't beforehand see if any of these PDs, public defenders, represented any of the 4 witnesses in my case, and because that came out later down the line, I kept getting new lawyers, and so I finally got a pool attorney who was better than the actual paid attorney that I did end up paying for.
Okay.
So many things over my head.
All right, so, you said that, you've been through some hardships with this. I can only imagine, going to prison for a crime that you didn't commit. It has to come with a lot of emotions and feelings. But, What are some of the things that you've been going through? I'm listening, bro. Tell us what's going on.
Well, in the beginning of my case, I ended up in jail. Basically, supposedly, you know how they say it, it's a murder. So you're facing 30 to life. I'm in the county jail facing 30 to life. Supposedly got this daughter that was 3 months. And it was a whole emotional roller coaster because 3 years later, I find out this child wasn't mine. That was the emotional fact. I'm in the courts fighting through motions and briefs. I've always dealt with some mental things, whether it be PTSD, and throughout the course of what the course was doing to me and being incarcerated, and like I said, like I told you before, the threat letter I had received pertaining to the threats on my family's lives, which basically forced me to have to fight my case, either through motions and briefs and win that trial, and not being able to put out there what I really wanted to put out there.
Right.
It was emotional. It was emotional. Like I dealt with stress. I dealt with nightmares, loss of sleep. But
you have 60 seconds remaining.
Even at times when I had to like go eat just off of 3 trays because I wanted to stack my money to do the things I needed to do, as in start my publishing company, to get the money to turn my company to an LLC. Like it was a lot. Yeah. I deal with the psych and seeing the psych now.
Bro, I also know that your family has been through some extreme hardships. How are they doing now?
I'm saying my brother still got brain damage, so shit. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't even know how to. When I talk to him, it's like shit. Every day I'm fighting back here just when I talk to him, because when I hear his voice, like the brain damage caused the sound. Not to make this sound funny, but because it's not funny with what I'm about to say. But he sounds like autistic. Like when I talk to him.
Yeah, I understand, bro. I don't think anybody gonna think that's funny. You know, you just explaining, you know, how his life has changed, you know?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's real heavy, bro. I hate that your family going through that. How have you been staying motivated and keeping your head up?
Well, besides, like I said, writing my books, I'm working on the movie script. Based on a lot of things that's going on in society right now. We're dealing with the violence and stuff, and a lot of things that black minorities go through, called minority. But yeah, writing, whether it be movie scripts, manuscripts, my music, of all sorts. And that's what I do. I write 24/7. I'm not doing that. I'm reading my Bible, working out, and staying in the law library.
All right, bro. I'm glad that
I'm trying to build my brain even behind these walls.
For sure. So I'm gonna give you this space and opportunity to tell us, the people, you know, what we can do to support you, what you need from us, the community. Well,
what I need right now is if I could get it, I'm not even gonna say the funds, but I've been trying to get an investigator to investigate my case, or get private investigators so I could do my own private investigation outside of the public defender's office, and outside of the prosecutor's office, because they're going to only investigate what they want.
Right.
And any exculpatory evidence that tends to prove my innocence, like I've been through situations where they didn't give it up. And we had to actually fight for it. So besides putting the word out there pertaining to my innocence, pertaining to my case, and just trying to get my case overturned, because right now, like, I copped out. I took a plea based off an agreement that if I appealed on any of my issues and won, I'll be back at the trial level, because I had so much against it. It was like I was forced to plead guilty against for something I didn't do. Like, it was in the threats of my family, so like I had to do that. But basically putting the word out there, any type of legal assistance possible, or even not even just legal assistance, just assistance from the outside community, period, in any way, shape, or form.
All right, and you're currently incarcerated in New Jersey?
Yeah, Northern State Prison.
All right, yeah. So anybody that is in Jersey that is willing to assist, we definitely are asking for your assistance to reach out. This brother needs your help. He's got everything lined up. You know what I mean? He sent you. I think you believe you sent me some of your paperwork, right? I think I got some mail from you.
Yeah, I definitely sent you some of my paperwork.
Yeah, so, you know, we're going to put this out there, bruh. I want you to keep your head. You're doing amazing things. Don't let this defeat you, okay?
Definitely not.
How can, if people want to reach out to you, how can they do so?
Well, they can either write me directly. My name, Jamar Myers, Jamar, Myers, Myers. My SBI prison number is 830-254C. Northern State Prison, P.O. Box 2300, Newark, New Jersey 07114. They can add themselves to my JPay by downloading the JPay app or opening up an account through jpay.com. Hit me on my Facebook, which is my name, Jamar Myers, or even my Instagram, which is insane_official 464. Or even email me at my company email, insanepublicationsllc@gmail.com.
All right.